Hello, everybody. It's me, Freddie Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Freddie Friday Story Funtime. With me, your host, and I did, Frederick Fred Friday. And my producer to please the honor. James. Well, hello, Jamesy. Hello, Freddie. Episode 95. Yeah, episode 95 of today's episode. And it's gonna be called the South Street Seaport Pupper. The South Street Seaport Pupper? Yeah, the pupper. I'm the pupper, even though I'm a grown-ass dog. But I took a trip to the South Street Seaport. I just noticed my book bag on, because it was back-to-school stuff for me, even though it's spring break, you know? You know? I know, you know. Yes, I know. So what else is going on in your world today on this Friday? Well, you know, nothing. The night out today, you couldn't hear the birds chirping in the background. The tulips and the cherry blossoms are all blooming. It's a good time, you know? You know it's good, because when it's a little colder, the flowers do better. Well, that's true. Nobody likes hot, humid weather, right? Not even the flowers. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me? You want to get into the story? Yeah, let's get into the story. So my producer, he was kind of busy this week. He was having a run around and do other things. So I knew I had a film for myself. And even though I'm not cool, because as I said, I'm a grown-ass pupper, a grown-ass doggy, you know, G-A-D, a gad. Yes, a gad. I decided to take a trip into Lower Manhattan, you know. So how'd you get there? Well, I hopped on the R train. R. And I took it local, you know, straight through. And I got out at Whitehall Street. Whitehall Street, yeah, the first stop in Manhattan. Whitehall Street is the first stop in Manhattan on the R train. The southernmost Manhattan stop is a better way to put it. And I took a walk, you know, I walked up Broad Street. You know, it's so big and so broad, you know? Yes, I know. And then I headed east for a little bit on Pearl Street. Pearl Street, yeah. Did you know that that's the natural water line of New York? I did know that, but maybe the people don't. So listen, people. You know, if you walk around Lower Manhattan on the east side, there's Pearl Street, and then east of that is Front Street. Well, it's Water Street, then Front Street, then South Street if you're going east. But naturally, Pearl Street would be the east water line of New York, the shoreline, you know? Yeah. The rest of the streets were filled in with landfill, mostly in the 18th and early 19th century, right? Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. So you went up Pearl Street. Yeah, I went up Pearl Street to Wall Street, where there used to be a wall back in the Dutch days, which was unfortunately built by enslaved people. That's very much true, yeah. And then I think also the blocks from the wall were maybe used to build the original Trinity Church. That might be right. Yeah. Wow, Freddie, you're teaching me things, and I'm the tour guide. And a historian too. Anyway, listen. So then I walked east on Wall Street, and I just went to the South Street Seaport. I had stopped by the museum, the South Street Seaport Museum, because I really like that area. You know, it preserved, you know, the landmark preservation. They preserved the area, so there's a lot of, you know, early 1800 buildings, early 19th century buildings over there, what they call counting houses back in the day, when they would, the commerce over there, people. The counting houses were like accounting, but, you know, this is where they would do their business. You know, like we own the company, and we had a pier. Well, you're not going to do your business right on the pier. Yeah, you're going to bring the goods in and things like that, but then we're going to go onto land, go to the office, and divvy up what we need to do. Settle up, you know? You know, settle up? Yes, settle up. Yeah. So you were, excuse me, you were enjoying yourself at the museum then? Oh yeah, definitely. There's a couple of ships in the harbor there on South Street. One of the Ambrose, I think. It's a light ship. As in, like, it functions kind of like as a lighthouse, but it's just a ship museum, you know, in the harbor. Very old ships. And then you could go get some good seafood. There's a place over there, I don't even know the name of it. It had no sign on it. It looked like it might be out of business. But oh my goodness, they had some good crab legs, you know? Oh yeah? Yeah, I had a good time. Scarfing down the crab legs, you know, I had to use basically like a whole roll of paper towel to clean my jowls off, you know? I can't help it. What can I say? I got you not knowing what to say, huh? No, it was a good time. I know, you told me when you came back. Yeah, I know. And then after I ate, I was like, well, I got to walk this off a little bit. So I took a walk around the financial district. I went to Trinity Church and sat in the churchyard. Went all the way up to St. Paul's Chapel by City Hall. And then I decided to turn around and walk home. And people were looking at me like, who the doggy walking up right with a book bag on? I had to hustle, you know. Listen, I already had a bad experience with a dog catcher once. I know. Yeah, but there's no dog catchers in New York City. No, not really. That's true. Yeah. So, you know, then I took the train home. Feeling tired and satisfied. And I got off back on Brooklyn. And I came back. It was a good time. I'm glad I went. The South Street Seaport Pupper, huh? Yeah, about on 95. Little people are getting nicer route. Go there while you can. And little, also the other thing about the South Street Seaport, there's a big building there with lots of restaurants and stuff in it. Like it used to be the mall, you know? I know, back in the day, they knocked that down and they built this new structure there. Yeah, exactly. It's very pretty. I popped in, you know, and that's good when it get warmer because of the air conditioning will be in there. But not a time to go down there. You know, when it get too hot and humid, even by the water, it's just like, oh great, the heat's just wet. I know. So you came home and then I was like, why don't we watch a movie? Well, what movie you want to watch then tonight? Well, me and Produto, we've been watching the show Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, you know? Yeah, back in the day, the old TV show. Yeah. But that's not a movie. No, it's not, I know. But we'll think about it. Anyway, people, let them what they is. Get out there and explore in your theater. Especially the historical things, you know? The end. The end, Produto. The end. Yeah. Well, thank you, Freddie. That was lovely. You're welcome. I appreciate it. I like telling these kind of good stories when we're not jokey. I know. Yeah. So listen, you can find out at Freddie Friday on YouTube, at Freddie Friday Story Funtime on Instagram, and you could send me an email at Freddie Friday Story Funtime at gmail.com. So until Tuesday, Produto. Until Tuesday, Freddie. What do we always say? Tell the people you love. Doodles. And give them a bunch of big old kisses.